In this episode of Build Lab, I want the smooth gaming performance of a PC in the stylish exterior of a Mac. Not a disco ball RGB fest, but an adult and classy build. It can be done, but the component choices are vital. Follow me through this build process and I'll show you how I created a speedy gaming PC with all the Apple-like features and design that we all love.
Those Swedish boys, they made you mine. From aluminum and wood to this design. So many pretenders, so many fools, so many copycats try to steal the jewel. They tacked it on, but you were the ones that brought the natural together with you and I are away. My tiny little case, they'll never understand your tiny little way. They'll never see your power, never see your restraint. To them you are a terror. To me you are a saint. You've made Jobs proud. You've made Jobs proud. My tiny little case, they'll never understand your tiny little ways. They'll never see your power, never see your restraint. To them you are a terror, to me you are a saint. They'll never see your power, never see your restraint. To them you are a terror, to me you are a saint. You and I are away. My tiny little case, they'll never understand your tiny little way. They'll never see your power, never see your restraint. To them you are a terror, to me you are a saint. You've made Jobs proud.
Through testing, we can see excellent performance at 1440p in a variety of games and setting levels. You can get even more performance by tweaking settings in-game further. This will also double as a fantastic creative workstation for content creation. The downside of a small form factor build is thermals and noise. The thermals were fairly high in stress testing, but actually in games that temperature was just fine. I always set a TJ max of 75 degrees C and a -20 curve optimizer, which helps as well. The acoustics weren't the best, but they weren't terrible either, as expected from a small form factor build. This will be louder than a large mid-tower. There was a little bit of coil whine when the FPS got over 200, but it wasn't terrible. You're not going to be able to hear it over your headphones. You can sometimes get turbulence issues in this case, but I didn't experience it myself when set up in the way shown in the video. We've nailed the Mac aesthetic. Silvery white, clean and compact. It's an absolute stunner. The Fractal Terra just oozes class. The internals look just as beautiful with braided cabling and the gorgeous white RTX 5070. Of course, you'll want your desk to fit the theme. White peripherals, muted colours and no RGB. If you're interested in picking up one of these PCs in the UK, check out my website pc36.co.uk and use code YT50 for £50 off any PC on site. For the component choices, the 7800X3D offers amazing CPU performance for £300 featuring a 3D V-cache. We will need a 67mm cooler for this CPU, otherwise we'll have issues with cooling. The Thermalright AXP120X67 is cheap and cools remarkably well, in fact better than the Noctua NHL12S that I've used in my own personal Fractal Terra build, likely due to the downdraft design of the Thermalright cooler. For memory, we've got old reliable 32GB DDR5 6000 CL30, but ensure you get low profile RAM like this ADATA Lancer. We've got a 1TB DRAM buffered SSD and a mid-range B850i motherboard. The ASRock B850i Lightning is fantastic. Those burning CPU reports are alarmist and are on a very small number of ASRock boards. This was also addressed in a recent BIOS update, so I have zero anxiety using it for this build. Graphics card prices are coming down a little bit. The 5070 is a real mid-range focused option, and I could see this becoming the most popular GPU in the stack. The Asus Prime version is a little bit more expensive, but the white styling looks great. You will want a card that fits the length constraints and no thicker than 2.5 slots. That gives you enough room to fit both the GPU and the 67mm cooler by adjusting the spine of the case. If you don't care about the internal colour, get a black version. Any 3-fan variant will see you right as long as it fits inside the case. And to power this PC, we've taken a leap and we've gone with a Thermalright power supply. It's 750 watts, gold rated, and it has soft white braided cables alongside a 12-volt high power lead. It worked beautifully for this build. I think these are actually OEM'd by Cooler Master. I noticed on the modular cables that one end says CMPSU, and I've seen this on Cooler Master units as well. So should you build this kind of system? Yes, but. The but being it is more expensive than a regular case, the noise will be a little bit more, and you'll have some restrictions on component choices. But as long as you reconcile those, you too can have a gorgeous Apple-inspired workstation for gaming and creation. If you like this, check out our Build Lab playlist where I go through lots of different styles of build, whether it's something adult and classy and refined like this, or if it's something more of a showpiece. See you in the next video.